I started down in eastern North Carolina, and a favorite, like all of my life, I was favored with my birth because my daddy and my uncle owned newspapers, little weekly newspapers. So I sold the paper on the street first, then in the Hosky, and then I, graduated up to that until I was editor of those little weekly newspapers. But, mainly because I grew up in it. I was allowed to do that by a family that loved to put me out there and let me do it, so I had a great time. I got to go to two beautiful places because as a journalist. I was down there in Windsor and I was called to Raleigh to work on the News and Observer, to cover politics, which was my love. And then after I'd been in the News and Observer for 15 years, by George, they sent me to Washington as their man. So that's how I got to Washington, and I loved every minute of it. Again, I was blessed when I came down here to be an editor, to start a newspaper, and then to be the editor of a paper in Fayetteville. I had a lot of time to indulge my passions for history and for art. So I got to be on the North Carolina Art Society and the trustees of the museum, the Literary and Historical Society. I got to write a history book for the North Carolina Department of Archives and history of Cumberland County. I just think those are the things that help make North Carolina a great place it is. Politics and culture go hand in hand. Well, I gave up political writing when I became an editorial writer. Editorials, you state opinions. And I always try to act like, at least when I was a reporter, that I didn't put my opinions in. So I sort of said, when I get into editorial writing, I'm going to talk about local issues, and I'm going to sort of leave all that big politics alone. In the last 10, 20 years, Fort Bragg has become the premier place in the Army, really, in the fighting Army. And so I got into all that when I first arrived here, mainly because I was promoting the newspaper that I got the privilege to launch. And I knew that we needed to serve the Army better than the old. So the generals and I have been friends, and now in the last 10 years, we've gotten involved in the museum, the Airborne and Special Operations Museum. Marie Smithwick Parker has been a life partner. We had our 50th wedding anniversary here earlier this year. But Marie's one of these people that grows on you. She's got that sense of integrity that you can't buy. The most important lesson any of us can learn is how to be responsible, one for ourselves and then for everybody else, and try to treat everybody else as if you are my responsibility. What can I do to bring you along? And here's what you can do to bring me along. I know so many people whose lives have been turned around because they did get into public service rather than spending all their time looking after the family estate or just striving for themselves. So we need to keep encouraging all the people who have any sort of urge to be in public service to do it. We need them.